New Naira notes. President Buhari engages Governors Forum.
Confident that these actions will further reassure voters of their safety during the elections and of a free, fair and peaceful process.
2023 elections. INEC meets service chiefs and CBN.
The Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is contributing to priority areas, which is enhancing social inclusion and reduce poverty.
Plus, more than 15 million poor and vulnerable impacted in the last 3.5 years as PMB scorecard series continues. Hello and a warm welcome to 28 Network News at 9. I am Ian Ray John and we're live in Abuja. Adiola Komiokere joins me from Lagos. Thank you for joining us. And just so you know, you can watch this news live on our website, nta.ng/live, NTA News Now, and other social media platforms displayed on your screen for updates. The second review report of the Federal Republic of Nigeria conducted by Auda NEPAD and the African Peer Review Mechanism has been launched. Also launched is the National Programme of Action aimed at ensuring effective implementation of the report towards enhancing good governance and welfare of the nation's citizens. President Muhammadu Buhari, who performed the ceremony, restated his administration's resolve towards entrenching democracy and quality leadership in all aspects of governance. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the details.
The report of the second country review of Nigeria are judged to have been carried out independently, professionally, creditably and with integrity is one of the fastest in the history of the African Peer Review Mechanism, covering 4 thematic areas including democracy and political governance, economic governance and management, corporate governance and socio-economic development. The report has an all-embracing objective of improving Nigeria's security, economy, fight against corruption and good governance.
As a government, we are proud of the steady progress being made in the country, as stated by the report, and we will continue to support the African Peer Review Mechanism process and to ensure adequate monitoring and evaluation of the report implementation. Nigeria will continue to support Africa's renewal and rebirth, which is vivid in the collective commitment to the principles and guidelines of the African Peer Review Mechanism in order to consolidate Africa's path to healthy democracy, sustainable growth and development.
Describing the document as important to Nigeria as a democratic nation built on true federalism and good governance, the president was emphatic that his commitment to the second country review was born out of his undiluted resolve towards ensuring that Nigeria does not lag behind other nations. He enumerated electoral, pension, tax law, judiciary and monetary policy reforms, as well as digitization of performance management system and the fight against corruption as some of Nigeria's best practices worthy of emulation.
We are all called to be reminded that the report will strengthen the implementation agenda 2063, which is a strategic framework for the socio-economic transformation of the African continent over the next 50 years, especially now that the continent is gearing towards the implementation of second 10-year development plan to consolidate and seek the acceleration of better society.
The second country review report would, amongst others, help the government to further analyze existing gaps and provide solutions to some of the socio-economic challenges confronting Nigeria towards consolidating good governance.
Mr. President, I want to use this opportunity to commend your exemplary leadership, your commitment to Nigeria, commitment to ECOWAS, and indeed your commitment to governance, democracy, and may you continue to be an exemplary leader to Africa and to continue to be involved in issues that move this subcontinent forward.
The launch of second review of Nigeria is yet another milestone to celebrate within APRM family. Member states need to emulate and follow the example of Nigeria in subjecting itself to review which is aimed at improving governance on the continent of Africa.
Mr. President, there is no doubt that your pragmatic and unrelentless quest for quality leadership support this project and will certainly enhance service delivery.
At the launch, President Buhari tasked relevant government agencies to effectively coordinate the proper use of the report and the document be archived for future references as well as institutionalized at the learning centers for academic purposes. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA.
And still in the State House, determined to chart the best way forward regarding the implementation of the cash swap policy of the federal government, President Muhammadu Buhari held a strategic meeting with representatives of the Nigerian Governors Forum. Again, Adamu Sambo reports.
Although President Muhammadu Buhari was scheduled to hold talks on the Naira redesign policy with the entire members of the Nigeria Governors Forum, the meeting, presidency sources say, had to be cancelled due to the various legal actions for and against the implementation of the government's policy as planned. President Muhammadu Buhari instead summoned the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum and governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, and his counterpart from Kebbi State, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, who chairs the Progressives Governors Forum. Also asked to join them are the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and the chairman of the EFCC, Abdul Rashid Bawa. The crucial meeting, held behind closed doors, lasted about 1 hour, but details were not disclosed. It will be recalled that President Buhari had asked for a window of 7 days to resolve the cash crunch emanating from the implementation of the Naira redesign policy. That window is yet to be closed, but already an FCT High Court had on Monday restrained the Central Bank of Nigeria and the deposit money banks from extending the use of the old Naira notes beyond the February 10 deadline, pending the determination of a suit filed by 5 political parties. Similarly, the governors of Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara states are now before the Supreme Court asking for an interim injunction to prevent the federal government from ending the validity of the old Naira notes on February 10. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Naira scarcity and insecurity will not be challenges for the conduct of the general elections. Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele and service chiefs gave the assurance when the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, visited them separately in Abuja as part of preparations for the polls.
Arrival of the governor of the Central Bank.
An unusual visit, one may say. INEC chairman visiting CBN governor, courtesy of Naira scarcity. A disturbing issue, but a little comic relief first. We need to get cash to pay our service providers, and all our accounts are with the CBN. Just 17 days to the elections. It's no longer fun talk, Mahmoud reminds Emefiele.
In view of the recent policy involving the redesign of some denominations of our national currency, and the limits placed on cash withdrawals and availability, we consider this meeting important in addressing some of the areas of concern.
I would say that before we raise those issues, we should consider them as having been done.
Thank you, Governor.
Then off for another visit. The man in charge of the ballot box, meeting the men in charge of the gun. 17 days to the polls. How safe are we? INEC chairman asked the security chiefs.
The 2023 elections will go on in a climate devoid, bereft of rancor. The security agencies have done a lot in the last couple of months to put things in place.
The commitment of the armed forces to ensure that the security for the election is solid.
Personnel are fully prepared to conduct the 2023 general election.
We welcome the renewed commitment and assurances of the readiness of the security agencies coming from the National Security Advisor.
Promise gotten for financial flow from the CBN and safety also assured by the security chiefs. So Mahmoud is at peace. Mie Ogidi, NT News.
In other news, the ongoing series of the PNB scorecard has featured the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Omar Farouk, where she reeled out the strides recorded by the ministry and the agencies under her purview with hope of sustaining efforts to meet the needs of vulnerable Nigerians. Ruth Aguele brings us details.
Since its creation in 2019, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has touched all nooks and crannies of the country to bridge the gap of poverty through enhanced interventions. The Minister, Sadiya Omar Farouk, who featured at the PNB Scorecard series, expressed optimism that the foundation laid by the ministry in building resilience across the country can be sustained through the implementation of policies that have been formulated over the years that has directly impacted the lives of vulnerable Nigerians.
The Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is contributing to priority areas, which is enhancing social inclusion and reduce poverty. It has been able to initiate the development of several policies, and this includes the National Policy for IDPs, the National Disaster Risk Management Policy, Revised National Disability Policy, the National Social Protection Policy in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning.
The impact analysis for the 2022 flood disaster shows 4.476 persons were affected, 655 lives were lost, 676,945 farmlands were destroyed.
The federal government approved the release of 12,000 metric tons of grains, rice, sorghum and gari from the National Strategic Reserves for distribution to all states, reaching 216,345 households, synonymous to 1,298,070 persons.
The sustainability of the National Social Investment Programs, the Minister says, was achieved through adequate monitoring and evaluation of the different schemes. For the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, a total of 9.990 pupils are benefiting across the country. For the N-Power, about 1.5 million youths have been enrolled since inception. For the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, JIP 2.0, a total of 1.142 persons have been registered across the 36 states and the FCT, while the conditional cash transfer, 1.940 vulnerable persons across all states are being paid 5,000 naira monthly. The minister added that the creation of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and the National Senior Citizen Center are key achievements of the Buhari administration, with a stern commitment to ensure full implementation of social protection and inclusion programs. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NT News.
If you just joined us, you're watching the Network News at 9. Time for a break. Please stay. Welcome back. And still on the PNB scorecard series, the federal government has appealed to Nigerians to keep the patience and remain resolute with conviction that it is very mindful of the inconveniences currently being endured by the citizens. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed made the appeal at the 23rd edition of the PNB scorecard series in Abuja, which featured the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. Anthony Forson reports.
Let me use this opportunity to assure Nigerians that the federal government is mindful of the inconveniences currently being endured by citizens as a result of fuel supply disruption and the recent.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed explained that the federal government is working assiduously to restore normalcy to those critical enablers of the economy to alleviate the pains of Nigerians.
Unfortunately, some opposition political parties ran to court to obtain an injunction restraining Mr. President and the CBN from extending the February 10 deadline for Nigerians to exchange their old notes for new ones. The court action came after a number of opposition parties threatened to boycott the 2023 general elections if the deadline was extended.
The minister maintained that the desperate opposition have decided to play a political game with the issues and preferring to make Nigerians suffer more.
Or how else can one explain the fact that these unscrupulous opposition parties do not want any action that could reduce the pains being experienced by Nigerians? How else can one explain the fact that they have decided to legally hamstring Mr. President, in particular, from providing any relief for Nigerians suffering from the cash crunch? It is bad politics when you put the interest of desperate political parties over and above the interests of Nigerians, the same Nigerians whose votes you earnestly seek.
However, he insisted that the antics of desperate power mongers would not save their sinking ambition.
One thing is sure, though, the desperate actions will not save these sinking political parties, as voters have already seen that they are the real enemies of the people and not Mr. President or the All Progressives Congress. And despite the antics of the opposition, rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, that the government is willing and able to take decisive steps to bring succor to Nigerians in the shortest possible time.
The minister used the opportunity to congratulate Temilade Okweni, known as Thames, for her 2023 Grammy Award, saying it is a confirmation of hard work and uncommon creativity as Nigerian musicians have continued to take the world by storm, making the country proud. In Abuja, Anthony Forson.
Elsewhere, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo wants the labor union and other groups that are charged with the protection of economic, civic and political rights to vigilantly prioritize the protection of the civic space to prevent it from being used for ulterior purposes. The Vice President made a call at the Nigeria Labour Congress 13th Quadrennial National Delegates Conference holding in Abuja. State House correspondent Dide Onifade reports.
Also, the maintenance of the civic space is fundamental to the promotion of robust engagements across society and with civil authorities with a view to continually fine-tuning the social contract.
Commenting on the theme of the conference, Building People's Power, National Unity and Quest for a New Social Contract, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the people have been exercising their constitutional right by clamoring for good social contract in various forms. He, however, warns that the civic space must not be used for ulterior purposes.
Aside from open official attacks on the civic space and fundamental rights, it is often the case in multi-ethnic and multi-religious societies such as ours that already existing ethnic and religious fault lines are manipulated for social and political advantage, and sometimes with disastrous consequences of civil strife and communal conflicts.
On social contracts with the people by government, the Vice President says the type of social program of the Buhari administration should be emulated.
We have to surmount our chronic productivity problem. 200 million people only generating $25 billion in collective revenue is far too small. We need, of course, to fine-tune our economic plan, especially the prioritization of value addition.
On national unity, Vice President Osinbajo says Nigerians are now far more united, calling on politicians who are bent on causing disunity through tribal and religious sentiments to retrace their steps.
We are obviously not as united as we should be, but national integration is a journey, and we are further along that journey than where we were 6 decades ago. Our destinies have become so interlinked as to become inseparable. Politicians who continue to traffic in division and discord are behind the times and have failed to take note of how much more integrated our society has become. I submit to you that it is the elite of our nation that must adjust themselves to this reality and conduct their politics accordingly. If public system is not working, it's because of corruption. So let's kill corruption. Let us not kill the citizens. This is the policy that is required. Corruption can be killed.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who is the guest of honor at the event, submits that the ultimate demonstration of power of the people is a right to freely elect leaders of their choice and to advise the labor union to ensure this is promoted. From the International Conference Center in Abuja, Jide Onifade, NT News.
Looking at other issues now, the federal government has flagged off the dualization of the 132-kilometer Kano-Daura-Kongolam road to ease traffic and scale up efficiency in socio-economic dealings of the people. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, who flagged off the construction work, said the project, billed at 155 billion naira, is expected to be completed in 2026. Awal Salisu has the details.
The dualization of 132-kilometer Kano-Daura-Kongolam Road project is a public-private partnership initiative between the federal government and Bua Group. The project, when completed, is expected to boost socio-economic activities in the sub-region and reduce post-harvest losses incurred by rural farmers while transporting their farm produce. Minister of Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola said President Buhari focuses on critical infrastructure to stimulate economic growth and development. He, however, appealed to governors of Kano, Jigawa and Katsina states and traditional institutions in affected areas to recover right-of-way and cross open for the project to be conducted successfully within the stipulated period.
If we can't export goods, if we can't export services, then we will not be competitive on the continent. It is this type of road that gives us efficiency.
We have two corridors, one for a dualized highway and standard gauge railway. I think this place is now fully open for business, inshallah, by the time these projects are finished.
Executive Director Bua Group Alhaji Kabiru Rabiu said they remain committed to partner with government on critical projects and initiatives that will fast-track human, social and infrastructural development across the country.
This as an important opportunity to fund and undertake a project that will have so much economic impact in the northwestern part of Nigeria as it cuts across 3 states. It is a major trade corridor for import as well as exports to and from Nigeria as it goes all the way to the border between Nigeria and the Niger Republic.
The project is expected to be completed in the next 3 years. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
And on the 2023 census, the federal government has inaugurated the National Census Security and Logistics Committee. National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mogano, retired, who is chairing the committee, assures that the 2023 national head count will be smooth and peaceful. Olusheye Adiagbo reports.
Duty calls again, this time a national call to mitigate security and logistic challenges towards achieving a hitch-free 2023 head count as census planners intensify preparations to deliver a first digital exercise in Nigeria. The inauguration of Security and Logistics Committee is the latest move to achieve a credible and reliable data for national planning. The committee is chaired by the National Security Advisor, Babagana Mogano, and the Chairman, National Population Commission, Nasru Isa Kwara, with members selected from relevant organizations.
For a robust security and logistic arrangement for this exercise, this committee will be replicated in all the 36 states of the Federation as well as the Federal Capital Territory.
The Commission attaches great importance to the work of the National Security and Logistics Committee, whose work we believe is very crucial
and important to the Commission in our quest to give Nigeria credible, reliable, and acceptable data for national planning.
The National Population Commission has sensitized committee members to pre-census engagements and will be followed by workshops on processes and methodologies to keep members abreast, up to date on the preparations for the exercise. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered the posting and redeployment of Deputy Inspectors General of Police, Assistant Inspectors General of Police and Commissioners of Police with immediate effect. A statement by the force indicates that DIG Dam Malam Mohammed has been redeployed to the Department of Finance and Administration, DIG Hafiz Inua, Department of Training and Development, DIG Aji Janga, Department of Research and Planning, DIG Adeleke Body, Department of Operations. AIG Habu Sani Amadu has been posted as Force Secretary, while AIG Lafia Abdoyari assumes office as the AIG in charge of the Force Intelligence Bureau, Force Headquarters, Abuja. Similarly, senior police officers have also been posted to take up the duties and responsibilities of the Assistant Inspectors General of Police in charge of Zonal Police Commands. Let's now talk politics. The campaign train of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, got to Bauchi State on Tuesday, with the party's presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, assuring the people that the state would witness further political and economic advancement with their continued support to the current administration in the state, as well as his National Rescue and Recovery Mission. Correspondent Onutu Yakubu reports.
Atiku Abubakar arrived the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium, Bauchi, welcomed by party members and supporters. The state governor, Senator Bala Mohammed, who is seeking re-election, emphasized the need to support the vision and aspirations of the rescue team for the genuine advancement of Bauchi State and the nation in general.
Over 100,000 people decamp because of you, and you will get the highest votes from Bauchi.
With Atiku Abubakar, our tertiary medical institutions will no longer be a consulting clinic. Everything will start to shift back to perfection.
National Chairman Senator Iyocha Ayu said he was in the States to appreciate the Bauchi people for the support the party has enjoyed over the years.
I bring you the medicine for all your suffering, medicine for hunger.
As a father who cares about Nigeria, he's a father who cares about the youths, he's a father who cares about the women.
Presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar recommitted to his pledge to address the challenges with the nation's security, industrialize agriculture, and strengthen the state for youth engagement.
I have also pledged that the petroleum resources that has been discovered between Bauchi and Gombe will be exploited and brought back to the benefit of the people.
The candidate also made pledge to set aside $10 billion to boost small and medium enterprises for youth and women. From Bauchi, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
And with the scarcity of the new Naira notes and fuel unabated in many parts of the country, the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Bola Tinubu has once again appealed to Nigerians to remain calm as the government and relevant agencies continue to work out solutions. Speaking in Abuja, Tinubu said he sympathizes with the people, especially the downtrodden who have been made to bear the brunt of the new Naira policy by the central bank and irregular supply of petrol that have combined to inflict avoidable pains on the masses. In a statement by the director, APC Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Onanuga, he commended the NNPC Limited for the fuel supply relief being enjoyed in the Federal Capital Territory and urges the company to step up its act to bring relief round the country. He also urges the CBN not to be dogmatic in the deadline it has fixed for the transition from old Naira notes to the new one, especially as the unintended consequence of the policy has been massive pain on the people. Now heading to Adamawa State, the All Progressives Congress has concluded its governorship campaign tour with a mega rally in Yola. The governorship candidate, Senator Aishatu Dahiro Ahmed Binani, charged the electorate to vote for APC at all levels to guarantee good governance as well as result-oriented programs and policies. Nafisatu Abdul Hamid Dembos reports.
It took the APC Governorship Campaign Council about 3 weeks embarking on word-to-word campaign across the 21 local governments, going through difficult terrains of Adamawa State to canvass for votes ahead of the election. The Muhammadu Buhari Square in Yola was filled to capacity with people in support of the APC governorship candidate, Senator Aishatu Dahiro Ahmed Binani, who they believed will turn around the fortune of Adamawa State. Senator Binani, who thanked the people for their solidarity and goodwill, promised not to disappoint them in the task of building a new Adamawa if given the mandate. The governorship candidate said, with the support of the electorate, she will implement the 10-point agenda of building critical infrastructure, youth and women empowerment, among others. The Director General Binani Campaign Council, Senator Hassan Ahmad Barata, appreciated the massive support from the people of the state, saying, better days are ahead if Senator Aishatu Dahiro Ahmed Binani becomes the governor of Adamawa State. Senator Binani also visited the district head of Jimeta, Muhammadu Baba Demsau, to solicit for support. In Yola, Nafisatu Abdul Hamid Dembos, NTA News.
And away from politics now, 2,000 women, youths and persons with physical challenges have benefited from economic empowerment by the Gombe state government. Emmanuel Akila reports that this is as the state government keys into the at-risk children program of the federal government aimed at enhancing the quality of life of the poor and vulnerable in the society.
Consolidating on her first position or providing favorable atmosphere for businesses to thrive in Nigeria, Gombe State keys into the at-risk children program of the federal government to train those with entrepreneurial desires in skills that would drive productivity in the state.
His Excellency empowered us. In a month he's paying us 30,000 naira. So from that 30,000 naira, every month if I receive it, I go to the market, I buy my materials. So from there, I produce my bags. Then from there they say we should also look for children that we can train them so that they will also be on their own.
The blind, physically challenged, the deaf, the leprosy, people affected by spinal cord injury, and other person affected by leprosy. We are all here from all the 11 local government are part of the beneficiaries to go and empower themselves and also to live away from the street.
The Human Capital Development Program in the state gives opportunity and employment to youths, women and the physically challenged to actualize their potentials. After their various trainings, the state government gives them 60,000 items as starter packs for their different vocations. The elected beneficiaries throw their weight in support of the Ino Yahya administration and the All Progressives Congress APC in the forthcoming general elections. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And away from Gombe State now, amid scarcity of currency that is propelling rise in cost of living nationwide, accounting professionals have been called upon to bring to bear their expertise in financial management. This was at the 2023 first mandatory session of Association of National Accountants of Nigeria Continuing Professional Development Program in Abuja. Bossady Abel reports.
Nigeria's socio-economic pressures and the ongoing currency reforms have continued to be major concerns to the financial institutions across the country, with hands on deck to address the most critical challenges that would enable the country meet its expectations. President and Chairman of Council of ANAN, Professor Benjamin Osisioma, is of the view that there is no better time for stakeholders in the industry to give their best in addressing the challenges.
The craze of the moment is sustainability, because we seem to be consuming our present and our future. If we continue the rate at which we are going, our children will not have a future to inherit.
Other issues at the table for deliberation includes understanding financial disclosures on sustainability as the event was declared opened.
Financial disclosure enabled a public evaluation of potential conflict of interest, prevent corruption, and increase in public confidence in the financial system.
When you implement in the next few years to come, is something that will not bring the country backwards. Instead, it will keep the country going.
I hope that professionals as we are will encourage each other to file our returns, to pay our taxes.
Capacity building and self-development are said to be the rudiment towards improving the practice. Hence, the need to take advantage of avenues aimed at sharpening skills for effective service delivery. In Abuja, Bosse De Ebo, NT News.
All right, let's join Adiola in Lagos now for more on the news. Adiola.
Yeah. Alternative payment method is fast gaining grounds among traders in Lagos amidst the challenges posed by the scarcity of cash. Joel Popola reports that traders are now encouraging their customers to go cashless to sustain business relationships.
The cashless policy, which is in tandem with global best practice, is fast gaining popularity among traders in Lagos. Many business owners, including petty traders, are embracing the cashless policy, which is fast becoming the new normal. Traders at Computer Village and other markets in Lagos say the adoption of electronic payment method has sustained their businesses in the wake of the cash crunch.
Most of our customers that come in, they use their ATM because we have like up to 4 POS here and they're able to use them.
I think people are starting to adapt to the transfer method and USSD and internet banking.
For some traders, the alternative method of payment has eliminated several challenges synonymous with cash.
When I sell. I've not been looking for change. Give me balance.
Those trading in Obalende area of Lagos have also imbibed the cashless policy, as this is the only way to maintain their market share. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele says cashless transactions are traceable and give accurate details of the amount of money in circulation, which aid financial projections.
Both the banks and the mobile networks, if it is the telcos, that at this time we would want this service to continue to be offered. Please, let's render this service so that those who are moving away from cash channel and into the electronic channel can please enjoy seamless use of these channels.
It gives a bit of credibility to economic data, and it also assists government and businesses that are beginning to be able to project, predict, and prospect into the future with accurate data.
Traders and business owners, however, urge electronic payment service providers to improve their network for ease of business transactions. In Lagos, Joel Popola, NTA News.
To provide better avenues for investment opportunities in the country, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, NIPC, has met with industry executives to brainstorm on ways to shore up investments. Larry Malay reports that various issues came to the fore, including expectations and support for startup businesses.
The interactive forum is to create a platform to engage investors and analyze their challenges, provision of better services, get feedback on policies of the government, and intimate investors on the Nigerian Investment Promotion Master Plan, which includes the promotion of an ecosystem of national investment to governance the plan in Nigeria.
The National Investment Promotion Commission says one of the ways of achieving this master plan is to have a strong relationship with ministries, departments and agencies, including state governments.
Beyond the master plan is also looking at the various commodities, looking at the commodity value chain and whatever industry is along those value chains.
Issues discussed include NIPC's initiative with Ministry of Interior on expatriates, the alignment of investment and tax between federal and state government, and NIPC's plan for the medium and small-scale businesses.
It's a good idea to have a master plan. You need to know what it is that you intend to do, how the agency intends to attract investments into the country.
If you have 20 to 30 million MSMEs in this country, and each of them take five people, we will have little or no employment problem. So it's very important that they target the MSMEs.
NIPC Mandate Act of 1995 is to promote investment opportunities in Nigeria, collect, collate, analyze, and disseminate information on them and related areas, including registration of investors. In Lagos, Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Lagos, but do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. We'll take a break now. The network news will continue with Inyere in Abuja.
Welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Dr. Wale Okediro on the Gold Medal Award at the Eurasian Literary Festival recently held at Cairo, Egypt. The president commends the writer, physician and current Secretary General of the Pan-African Writers Association for his accomplishment, which is a celebration of Nigerian literature and values at the international stage. The president wishes the former lawmaker the best in his career. Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State has attributed the recent fuel scarcity in the country to acts of greed by dishonest Nigerians who are bent on making money from innocent citizens. Governor Sani Bello said this during a visit to the Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPC Limited in Abuja. Lydia Sampson reports.
It was unfortunate. Governor Bello said he was surprised that shortly after he announced the setting up of a state task force to monitor the supply and distribution of petroleum products in the state, the fuel queues within Mina and environs immediately vanished.
I know there are some greedy individuals that want to maximize profits, the profit that I don't even know where they will take it to, because they will leave it here in this world, thereby making people suffer. So I pray Allah to guide you, to bless you, to show you the right path.
The governor was accompanied on the visit by the Etsanupe Yahaya Abubakar, the Emir of Agaye, Muhammadu Kudu Abubakar, as well as some cabinet members from Niger State. He used the opportunity to urge NNPC Limited to sustain the momentum in the search for hydrocarbons in the Bida Basin area of the state. The governor, who also commended the GCO NNPC Limited for its tireless efforts at ensuring the smooth supply of petroleum products nationwide, applauded the NNPC Limited for its intervention in the renovation and reconstruction of the Bida Lambata Road under the federal government Road Infrastructure Task Credit Scheme. Group GCO said Niger State is strategic to NNPC Limited and by extension to Nigeria's energy security, as it is home to some of the country's critical downstream infrastructure such as Suleja Depot, the Izon Pump Station, including a large chunk of the Ajakuta Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline which passes through the state.
Many of the things that we are doing in Niger, the hospitals, are really a matter of obligation. And we're happy doing it, and we'll make sure that that facility is handed over to you as quickly as is practical, so that the people of Niger State will benefit.
Group CEO affirmed that seismic activities have confirmed Bida Basin to be of high hydrocarbon prospect, assuring that the NNPC Limited will resume exploration in the area as soon as possible. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Before we develop as a people, we must first learn to live together, forgive one another and rule with justice and fairness. These were the words of the chairman of the Nigeria Interreligious Council and Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Saad Abubakar, and co-chairman as well as Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja Catholic Archdiocese, Most Reverend John Cardinal Onaikan, at the grand celebration of the Plateau at 47 and Forgiveness Day held in Jos. Priscilla Gurumnan reports.
Activities marking the celebration of the 47 years of the creation of Plateau State and Forgiveness Day came to a climax with a large gathering of the about 56 ethnic groups, friends of Plateau State and well-wishers. Sultan of Sokoto Muhammadu Saad Abubakar and Archbishop John Cardinal Onaikan, represented by Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, in their separate charges, harp on the importance of dialogue, peace and reconciliation to the growth and development of society.
We believe to understand one another is more important than to tolerate one another. I pray that we shall learn to bury the hatchet.
Towards the forthcoming general elections, the clerics call on citizens to ensure they conduct themselves peacefully. Emir of Kano, Ado Bayero, and the Gbongom Jos, Da Jacob Gang Buba, applaud government for its efforts in the restoration of peace in the state.
From the testimonies of the communities that we have had in recent times and even today, I am happy that the concept of forgiveness and reconciliation day is yielding tangible results.
The governor, along with the special guests, performs the unveiling of gazette on the creation of districts and chiefdoms, symbolic handing over of faith-based schools to original owners, and unveiling of Plateau State symbols and identities in Jos. Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.